Guys, Robert here with the Piston Slap channel, and we finished our ride to the lookout. Holy baloney, man, that was a rough ride. I was hoping that the single track would have made it, but apparently that didn't make it. And I know if you guys have been following, this is kind of like a rehash, and you guys are like, oh, I already saw all this stuff. You haven't saw it, because that's not the topic of conversation for today's motovlog. Or should I say, thank you for this evening motovlog, even though it's coming to you at 9 o'clock in the morning is when it's released, my time, depending on whenever you go fishing. Not really. Whenever you watch it, it may be night. But I want to ask you a question. Forky has a question. No. If you guys watch Toy Story, you get the reference. How many of you guys like night riding? I love night riding. I love it. But the problem is night riding brings its own responsibilities, its own dangers, its own thrills and excitements. Growing up in the desert, night riding was the thing, man, because it's 110, 115 during the day, and if you don't have shade and you got all this gear on, and it's like a popsicle on a hot summer day. Or in part of night riding, cool air, letting people know where you're going, because it's really hard to find people in the dark at night. And having a riding buddy with you at night is also fun, because if something happens to one bike or the other, one ATV, one whatever you like to call it. Yeah, so we just came down from over there, I believe, is where we came all the way across this and then down here. Anyway, something happens, you got a buddy to get back and get help. Now, while we are all skilled, and if you prep and pack all your goodies just in case something happens, that's awesome. But working in the dark still sucks. There's not the ambient light to fix the little nuances or whatever. Something gets dropped or fallen off the bike in the dark, it may be almost impossible to find. But to me, night riding outweighs all the negative. There's more positive. There's less people. Which type of riding I do, I mean, you can obviously see most people I've seen today are my riding buddy, and that's about it. I've seen a couple others on side-by-sides, but that's out on the main roads. Now, I have yet to ride a single track in the dark. I don't know if it's frowned upon, or if you just really want to put yourself at that kind of risk, because that's single track in itself, a good single track, is pretty risky. Doing it at night is even more risky. And I understand, sometimes if the juice ain't worth the squeeze kind of thing, we're always looking for that next level. If you know where the single track's going and everything, that's one thing, and you understand like the exposure of the single track, the one that we rode earlier, it's got a pretty good cliffside. You fall off of it in the dark, it might be next to impossible to get your bike back. You're gonna just have to walk in the dark, just pack a flashlight, back to camp so you can come back in the morning and get your bike. Things that I like to have are obviously plenty of lighting, and don't skimp on the cheap crap from Amazon. Everybody says it's great. Everybody says it's great until they see one of the good ones. Spend the $170, $180 on a rigid. I know I'm not normally telling people to spend money, but when it comes to certain things, quality matters. I can tell you that. Quality matters on certain things. Sheet of paper, not so much. Lighting, more so, because if you buy a spotlight, this is a spotlight, cheap spotlight, good company, advertises as a spotlight, and you can see spot in front. I've done this on a motovlog before, but you can see the spot in front of me. Now you notice no spot. That is because this is more of a floodlight. Even though it's advertised, I checked the numbers. Called the manufacturer, they're like, yeah, that's a spotlight. Optics and the reflectors inside there are what determine how that light stays together as it goes out, the spread on that light. If you buy a spotlight, you don't want it to light up everything around you. You want it to light up down the road where you're riding. The floodlight, you want the ambient lighting, side lighting, or whatever you want to call it. So that's why you see on my bike, I have two, but they're very distinctly different. See the dot where the bolt goes through? And then you look at the other one, and you notice the dot's kind of down at the bottom. Pro Comp, rigid. Cheap, expensive. And it hasn't given me a lick of problems. This light's been through many crashes, washing, raining, mud, everything. The only issue I've ever had with my rigid, and it wasn't even its fault, is I wrecked my bike multiple times up a hill, and it was just more than it could take, and it ripped the handguard and everything off of the bike. So, I've been blabbing about night riding, and I've asked you, what do you think? You guys like it? Don't like it? I like the cool air. I mean, it's 61 right now. It was 78, 79, somewhere in there. Let's just call it 80 on the way up. Nice, cool 60 degrees. The ride's over. We're just chillaxing on the way down. My buddy's clapped out. He says he's got no juice left. He's just in get home mode right now, and I offered, say, stay the night if you want. I don't care. I got the room. I've got the food. You know, certain people, you know, I'm more than welcome to my house. He's one of them. So, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed my evening ride. I know it's not night, but maybe I'll throw in an extra clip here somewhere if we get into the dark before we get back to camp. We're kind of racing the light, not really, but you know, it's an unknown area, and we don't want the women to be mad or worried, because that is the worst. When your significant other, and I know I say women, that's in my case. I should say your significant other. Everybody knows that when they're worrying, it's not good. And usually, I'm worried about you, and there's always that level of tension. We don't want any tension. We just want everybody to be happy, because that's why we're here. So, anyway, I'm Robert. I'm tired. Calling it a night, calling it a video, calling it a vlog, whatever you want to call it. If you're new, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. It's always appreciated. Lets me know that you like the video, you like the content, you like the bike, you like the forest, you like Tyler. I don't know. Hit the thumbs up for Tyler. Anyway, catch you guys on the next one.